Hello, my fellow toasters. This is Rockets here. Today we are playing Automation. So it's a game where you build cars, and then you build engines, and you build cars again, and it's all fun and dandy. So let's just go into the light campaign. New game. Apparently they don't let you name it for some reason yet. I hope they change that. So, now, let's just get in straight into it. The light campaign, yada yada yada, not the same as the normal campaign. Many smaller fixes and improvements, improved hubs and finances screen. Yay! Okay, now there's 3 options for the country we can start in. We can start in Gazmia, Archana, or Frunia. Gazma is big, flat, and they want powerful cars, and they don't mind paying a good price for it. Archana is smaller and very hilly and very poor, so they want cheap off-road and utility vehicles. And Frunia is somewhere in between. So now, the difficulty. I don't want this to be too hard since this is just a YouTube campaign, and so I've never really known what the use for this is, but I'm just upgrading it because I heard it's better for you. There you go. Get the exhaust in here. Yeah, gotta love that exhaust. And even if they stay the same, you know what? No, those don't need to be. And you know what? Who cares about exhaust? Because I actually want to turn this down a bit to 25%. There you go. 25%. That's good. Now, there are several screens on here, so let's go to production, which is this. Now R&D, which is pretty self-explanatory. You can spend some money, and then the monthly labor cost will go up. I can try to get it all the way up to 15, which is nice. And you can turn that down and turn it up, but anyway. Now, there's sales, which just tells you how many of each demographic and of which country is sold and how big the demographic is. So, like, family budget might sell more and have a much larger demographic than luxury premium in Archana. And then there's a rare awareness, which just shows how aware everyone is of a certain country or vehicle. So like family utility budget is everything's 10, and then the size, which is like family utility budget has a larger size, although the same awareness as large delivery or heavy utility or heavy delivery or city eco or luxury premium. Apparently, even if you made the world's best luxury premium car, nobody would buy it. And only conventional luxury would have like 1.2 buyers per month. And then there's market. So right now people want utility budget and family budget and commuter budget and family budget. Family budget in particular is very important, so I think if we can get to that demographic, I think it'd be great. But right now, let's try to get like the delivery section, which I think would be very useful. But if there's economy, it just shows how much each country has in buying power, I guess. And these are pretty self-explanatory. So let's go back to production, and now this whole game is completely pointless if you don't make a car. So you might be thinking, okay, let's just get this, and then throw in a decent engine and some good tires, boom. And I'm like, no, that is completely the wrong way to go for this country. What you want is actually this. Yes, actually you want this. This might come later, but right now it's this. That is really useful. And then just crank that up a bit, since all the merrier. Now you have no need to worry about engine size, since it does not matter. That engine bay is big enough. Okay, so ladder or space frame? Honestly, just steel would be a bit cheaper. Double wishbone. Solid axle leaf is the one you should get, at least in the beginning. And then steel. Now, you can make it look as beautiful as you want, but when it comes to me, I just like to make normal headlights about that size, maybe a bit more over, and then just some indicators. Of course, a bit bigger, although not too big, then they'll just be very weird. And then grills. And now, for some reason, the parts here never change, or at least change very little. So you can go to handles and get something that you'd only expect in the mid-2000s, back in the 1940s for some reason. But anyway, tail lights. What I like to do is get that, which is about medium-sized. Then get this, which is also about medium-sized. There we go. About the same size, so these and roughly in the same direction. And then indicators, which I can just put at the bottom, and will be the I am going left or I am going right buttons on the rear. There you go. So apparently you can tell better if I'm going left from the rear than from the front, because those are bigger. Although it just looks better like that. Now, you're going to need door handles so you can actually get in the vehicle. So let's just put like that, add a bit bigger. That looks like a good size, although it might be a little big. It should be fine. Handles. I would do that and make it like far away and far away, but it's just easier to make that like that and that like that and call it a day. Because I don't even think the game takes all this whole section right here much into consideration. And for some reason, I really like putting like that, just these vents on the roof of every car I make. I don't know why, I just like it for some reason. And there, it's maybe my internal desire to make sure these guys have air, which I doubt they would in this situation, but you never know. They might need air for some reason. Just maybe. Oh, I almost forgot the bonnets. And the everything else. Wait, is that actually a good place? Oh, yeah, it is. That is not good, and that is funky, but it works, okay? And I like exhausts like this, although I do like to make them quite a bit smaller, so I can put them like down here, and maybe after that just make them a bit bigger, so that they do actually do something other than just for show. You know what I mean. But anyway, now you can get back into this, which I like to choose like a lighter-ish blue, and then make it so it's more of a what am I doing it with my life blue, and then four-wheel drive. And then I like to keep it in the middle because it gives off a good outline. It doesn't make the car look like it's a lot smaller than it really is, but it also isn't that weird thing. So the middle is usually fine for me. I might be thinking just a mid-sized V8, and that should be good. And I'm like, no! You want to get the smallest possible inline 3 you can. And then usually I like direct acting OHC. Yeah. And there we go. Then cast iron, since it's your only option. And honestly, These don't matter since it's not going to be very powerful anyway. And besides, it's slightly cheaper. And then since I've got them, I can turn the quality up a bit. The compression is always blow uppy if I just leave it stock. And then cam ratio doesn't really affect it much. And so honestly, you don't actually need to spend that much time in here. In single barrel, standard, regular is perfectly fine at 6,000 RPM. And then exhaust, cast long, 19 horsepower is plenty. 19 horsepower, yes, 19 horsepower. That is what I meant. Because it is never going to get 19 horsepower, as you can see there. Now that is perfectly fine. We do not need to change it whatsoever, and that will do its job perfectly well. But I want it to be slightly better. Actually, just a bit better. Let's go 40% since that's good. 50%, that's actually better. Hey, better reliability, more economy, and more power. So win-win for everyone. So 8.7 to 1 is apparently good. Now you can change the style. There's only one style, but I can change the color, which I prefer a nice red for my weaker engines. Is there like an... No, yellow, yes. Nice and yellow to stand out in all of the hills, probably. And then maybe... And I like to oftentimes go to ignition timing, which isn't really helping right now. Apparently 50 is absolutely perfect. Fuel mixture, honestly, that just doesn't help that much, and I oftentimes... Okay. There you go. That apparently is the best I can get out of it. So as you can see, I'm not reaching 920 horsepower, since I do not need it. And it's not helping me ever, absolutely. So there we go. See, 15 horsepower and 15 pound-feet of torque. We can start it up. I don't care. Let's just go to here so it doesn't take as long. And then it just sounds great. Yes. And then from here, we can go to making this thing actually be a working vehicle. Again, priority to cheap, top speed as low as possible. Apparently it's only 45 miles an hour, but they don't care in this country. They'll buy it anywhere. But price is key. The cheaper you can make it, the better. Spacing, I might want to put that to like, honestly 50 is fine. Manual locker, I think that'd make things so a bit better, even though it's a tiny bit pricier. Tire width actually doesn't affect it that much, even though it's like way too thin for anything off-road. Then brakes, there's not really only one option, which you can make slightly cheaper, but that actually doesn't actually help much. Now the quality just makes everything better. Yeah, I like a none because extremely low. I really like that darkish green. It's beautiful. Braking, sure, because it just makes it last longer. And when it comes to cooling, airflow, you want the bare minimum because it like makes it better with drag or something. I don't know. I'm going with 3 seats, basic, none, because they don't care about safety. Standard, twin tube, passive, and then like sure, because it only raises the price by like $1. And then boom, markets, heavy utility, it's good. Honestly, the utility stuff is nice. And so now I gotta name this beast, and I will call it the, let's see here, Yodel. Yodelman. Yodelman. Trim. Dirt. And the engine, I will call Ant. 1. Variant. Honestly, the variant doesn't really matter. Actually, no. Let's call it the small. You know what? Screw it. I3. The SI3. Yeah, the SI3 and 1. 1. See, perfect. Save. And Archina. That's actually pretty expensive for them, and they can actually afford it very well since, you know, they're completely broke. So, oh, excuse me. Okay. Now, this doesn't actually help whatsoever. So I guess you can just make it, keep it the same, it doesn't matter. Keep that the same, it doesn't matter. Now, production. Region, Farunia, apparently. Now, cars, I want a small lot, buy, and then engine, small lot, buy. There we go. Now, in this type, small, there's 3 options, 1, 2, and 3. All, of course, just how many cars it can make. So, 1 is 25, 2 is 42, and 3 is 67. So it all depends on the S. So 1 is 65, 2 is 108, and 3 is 172. So if I think if I do that and then keep that at 1, and then match the car. Now you might be thinking, okay, that's fine and dandy, but no, why are you making it so expensive? Because if I make it expensive, then I can make the production costs like super low. And QA threshold will be 40, since it still gives a little bit of quality, but it's a lot cheaper. Anyway, let's go down to here. See? I can sell the Archia. See, look at that base price. With 20% plus base, I'm already making the same as that. Of course, now that opens up everything, and then everything is like super better now, but I don't care. I need to make a living, so plus 20%. So, yay, I don't actually care about changing things. So, I can only sell in Farunia, which a demand is, why did I choose Farunia? I don't know why. But apparently I can pump that up to the extreme, because I can only sell so much. And apparently, okay, there we go, perfect 1-to-1 ratio. It is expected that I will sell it off by 1,050. Although I actually want to see now. So if I go back to here at small, 3 and 1, but if I actually go up and make this a medium, then buy that for that, and then no, that still wants to be small. I want that to be a medium. There you go, small and medium, and 3, then small and 3, maybe 2, yeah, 2, and then just match, so 2.3, again, all at 100, just to make even more at an even cheaper price. Boom, boom, boom. As you can see, I can only sell an Archia, but it is a lot cheaper. And I can sell a lot more. Like, if I set that to the perfect 1-to-1 ratio, I can sell 7,000 instead of the original, like, 2,000. Although I'm not making nearly as much money off of it. But I don't care. I'm going to be selling, like, 7 grand a week. A month. Yeah, demand 1-to-1, that's good. I'll make it by 1952. Which I say is actually very good. Yeah, starting in Fronio is a lot better than starting in Archana. Because I can sell it for a lot more expensive. So there you go, it's still dirt cheap. It is literally called dirt. And then just start it. Sure, actually, no. Since I think I'm fine, and it'll take about 4 years to catch up. Now, since that is currently in engineering, let's buy a completely new car. Now, you might be thinking, why not this and this? It looks good. No. If they want a people mover, then I'm giving them a people mover. Again, actually, you know what? I think I've changed my mind. This is a good, looks like a good family car. Although this is just easier. I mean, you gotta admit that. So ladder, steel. I think that that's actually very low and load capacity extremely high. Although I think drivability and a solid coil would be a bit better. Drivability is actually not that much worse, so that's fine. Ugh. So they want a people mover, so I'm giving them a people mover. So I'll be right back once I get this all set up, okay? Go. Okay guys, sorry about that, just the game crashed, so I had to redo everything. So now, in line 3, cast iron as small as possible, since all I care about is price. There you go, I don't care about aluminum. Honestly, cast is fine, and besides, it's just a tiny bit cheaper. There you go, turn the compression down to like 7. Turn that up a bit. Yellow, because yellow is a very good color for this. Of course, I'll have to call this the Yodel Fam Dirt. And then the engine will be the SI3 Ant 1. There you go. Okay, so I'm just doing things naturally aspirated, yada yada yada. Carburetor, single barrel, blah blah blah. It looks fine. Blah blah do 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 do. 6,000. That also looks fine. I'm never gonna need more than that. Exhaust valves. Let's just go to 2. Catalytic. Blah 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 blah. Honestly, it's a rather decent engine right now, but I can do better. Ignition timing won't help it. It'll just make it weirder, and besides, I might actually want to go for it leaner the better. There you go. Actually, that is very nice, yeah. Skipping that, cam profile, I can turn that up. I actually might not want to turn that up. I think 50 is perfectly fine. And then compression, I can actually get everything nicer. There you go, I'd actually want to turn that down. So 47. Yeah, 47 looks nice, right? It's not as good of the engine as I did before, but it works, okay? It works, and it works good enough. Yeah. Honestly, a lot of these can be left stock. Hard long life. Those can't be any thicker. Okay, quality is up. Drums. Those are good, honestly. As I said before, a lot of these can be stock and nothing bad will happen. Now, braking, again, you want it to be the cooling airflow to be as low as possible while still being just as above it. Seats, 9, basic, none, good. I actually sense it's not dirt, it's more or less grass. Yeah. Rings, standard, twin, passive, comfort. And honestly, that looks good. Family budget car. Everything is beautiful. And that looks good. Markets. Frunia. As said before, family and family sport look beautiful. +2. Those are still actually very good. Now, test track. Let's send it around the test track and see how horrible it is. Okay guys, I'm back. The game crashed again. For some reason it's really crashy today. So now let's just get straight back into it. As you can see, right now it is currently best rated for family and family sport. Okay. So let's go into that's honestly fine and that is honestly fine too. Frunia. Yeah. Cars, I would like to get a medium-sized car factory and a small-sized engine factory because the engines are easier to produce apparently. That's good. Now, I want medium, second level medium, third level medium, small, third level large, boom boom, boom boom, yeah, second level. That works. Then boom, boom, boom. There we go. Now that looks fine, doesn't it? Yeah. That looks fine. It's only $6,000 this time. Okay. Competitiveness. Sales. Looks like I'm going to sell a couple. Fun. A small, affordable, and reliable everyday use car that's practical and fun to drive. That must be nice. Anyway, list. That looks like it would sell a lot. Okay. Looks like I'm gonna need to bump up that a bit. Well, that's perfectly okay. I just gotta put it right at demand market 1. See? Perfectly good. Yeah. I'm gonna be selling $6,000 a month. Or 6 of those a month. And I shall be breaking even by 1952. Save. Start! Yes, both are in engineering, and that is good. Let's go to market. What is it? What is the market in for? What do people want? Okay, people currently want large delivery in family and commuters. Well, budget family. Okay. That looks good. R&D. So, I'm guessing my next vehicle would be just a commuter car. So I'm probably going to get like the cheapest and lightest car and make it absolutely ballsy cheap. So, let's stick it into gear and let's see it go. As you can see, it's cycling through. And this might take a while, so I'll be right back once it's there, okay? Go. Okay, I'm back, and as you can see, once the year's over, it gives you a total profit / loss. So right now I have lost $800 million. which isn't good, but once these start into production, then everything will be better. The Yodel Man, actually, let's revise this. Go all the way back to here. Model, it shall be called the Yodel Fam Trim Grass, and then the family will be the SI3 category, and the variant will be Ant 1. Save. Yeah, save. There we go. It's working now. So the Yodel Fam and the Yodel Man. There we go. Now, these will go into production this month. Cars sold 3,000, 6,000. Now these are into production. 3,000. So it looks like they're selling about 3,000 a month. And once production is in full swing, everything should be beautiful. So yeah, it's 1949, and these things are going into production very nicely. Each already selling thousands of vehicles. And it looks like the Yodel Man is actually selling a lot better. That's great, right? Yeah, I'm already probably making a profit. Besides, those are actually going up. So sales are obviously increasing. I'm selling close to about 9,000 vehicles per month. And I'm only losing $700 million. That's okay. It's okay, because I just need stocks to go up a bit. And I'm going to have to revise this car too. Because it is obvious that I need to turn that down so I can still be making a good profit. Save and continue. There we go. Let's see those go down. Dang it, they're still going up, but they're selling a lot better now. See, I made $1 million. $100 million. So I haven't broken even yet, but I'm getting closer. And of course, as time goes on, I'm going to need to be making more and more dirt cheap cars just to make a living. But already I've sold close to 500,000, or half a million. So that's good. Well, until next episode, make sure to keep that toast burnt. And I'll see ya.